Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Doerr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, and it's Aloha Mondays with Linda and Mel. Hi, Linda.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm good. Before we get started, I just want to tell everybody about our event in September. We've got 31 people, so that means we've got room for probably 19 left. And if you're interested, you can email me, www.meldoer, MELDOERR.com, or call my office at 847-590-5411, and it is on my website. So everybody just call. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we're going to do a little SteamYard video of exactly what each teacher is going to do. I'll be there too, doing mediumship readings. Everybody's guaranteed a reading. And I'm looking forward. It's a real historic place in Chicago.
It's going to be, yes, it is, actually. Pippin's is an icon place, and where you're staying, the Drake is icon, and there's a lot of icons around there. Michigan Avenue and the Water Tower. It's going to be incredible. So
I'm bringing my nephew as my assistant.
Yay, I'm so glad he's coming.
Yeah, so thank you. And I ordered the goodie bags for everyone.
And we'll do a sneak preview. We'll do a sneak preview with those and the lanyards too. How's that? I've got the lanyards, and you've got the goodie bags and the water bottles and everything. So
They're coming to your office.
yay. My office is the clearinghouse.
I'll tell you, I'm glad you got a space. Do you remember Catskills when I did Catskills?
Yes.
And they wanted to charge me. They said they didn't have that much room to hold things like goodie bags.
It's yes.
And that place was huge.
It's huge. I mean,
and they said we don't have room. And so I paid them $500 to hold our stuff.
I've got room in my office. It's not a problem.
Okay, so here we go.
All right, so the first thing I want to say to our neighbors in Mexico is felicitaciones para elegir a su primera presidenta. I said, I want to say congratulations for electing your first female president.
That's great. I heard she's really something.
She's going to be incredible. And
she believes in science.
Yeah, but I think she'll really be able to help the economy in Mexico, bring in tourism, cut down the cartels. I see her having meetings with the president of El Salvador. And what I see coming for parts of Mexico or Mexico, Central and South America is like a Central American Union, like the European Union. I see joining that with one currency and all of that. So I think it's going to be incredible. I see it like I said, that kind of Central American, South American Union. So I'm excited.
That's great. Who was the previous president?
Oh, I can't think of his name, but she's with the same party he is, but I think she's going to differ from his politics. I mean, she's incredibly smart, and so that's good. I think the people down there are really going to love her.
Oh, great. I'm excited for it.
So, yeah, me too. So let me get to my questions. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I had them here and I got off track. Okay. There's some good ones today, Linda. We got a bunch of them. Okay. The first one is from Moo Crazy Town. I can't read it. I received a flyer from GA Senator Ossoff saying Trump is encouraging Marjorie Taylor Greene to run against him. How will this shake out? I haven't heard that, but
I haven't heard that. Trump is encouraging Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, whoever this is, they received a flyer from GA. I don't know if that's Georgia Senator Ossoff, saying Trump is encouraging MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, to run against. I see what she's saying. In other words, Senator Ossoff is saying that Donald Trump is encouraging Marjorie Taylor Greene to run against Ossoff.
Yeah, but she's comfortable in her spot now. She's guaranteed to win.
Ossoff is the senator. I think he's a black senator from Georgia that won.
No, he's not. He's not black. He's a small, kind of waif-looking, dark-haired man.
I got it. Okay, I messed up on that, but I guess the question is, will Green run against Ossoff?
For Senate, yes, from a congressman to a senator. No, I say no. What are you saying?
If she runs for Senate, she's not going to win.
She won't win.
Nope.
Ossoff will win.
I feel that too. And I see Marjorie Taylor Greene out at some point. Either if she's not voted back in, I see her out because of being ousted because of trouble she'll get into.
Yeah, in sedition.
Exactly. Well, you predicted the insurrection. You predicted it.
No, did I?
Yeah, so I told you it was like when I first met you, we were talking on the phone and you said, I had a dream and I saw television and it said Trump guilty of treason. And I'm thinking, I think I said something cocky like, what have you been smoking? And you said it like numerous times. And look at what's happening with the insurrection. So I'm going on what you said.
Yeah, but he hasn't been found guilty of the insurrection yet.
I know that, but you predicted the
Well,
whole thing about the trial with the
well,
insurrection.
the traitor might have been for stealing confidential records.
I don't know, but you predicted it. So
Wow. Okay.
I remember you told me
I knew he was going to sit like this and refuse to leave, and they told him we're going to have to drag you out. Is the only reason he voluntarily got up and left.
this was about.
But he was going to refuse to come out of that office.
Oh yeah, this was about 3 or 4 years ago when you told me he was still president, and nothing came out about any of this. Then this was before Biden was elected. This was like 2 years, 2 or 3 years into Trump's presidency when you said.
Wow. Now, see, if it wasn't for people like you, I forget what I say.
Oh yeah. Okay. This is a good one. Francisco Hernandez. Hello, Francisco Hernandez. ¿Cómo estás? Okay. Lyndon Mel, I love you. Thank you. Like always, what do you think is going to happen to Trump? Is he going to go into asylum instead of putting him in jail? And second, how do you see New York City after this? I don't see him in an asylum or in jail. I never did. I could be wrong, but I don't. I just.
Or if it's a jail, it's awfully comfortable.
If it's jail, it's not like bars and all of and like a door that like a slammer, as we say.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more like house arrest or something very nice. And if that's the case, I'm going to scream and say, why should he get the good treatment? But
I just want to give you a quick news brief.
Okay.
Kailua, is that how you say it? Kailua?
Who?
In Hawaii, in Maui.
Kilauea.
Kilauea volcano is erupting.
Oh, cool. Oh, Kilauea. No, on Maui or on a big island?
It's the Maui news. Maybe it's not in Maui.
Kilauea. That's on the big island. Kilauea. That's on the
Kilauea. Yeah. Because remember, I kept seeing volcanoes eruption, so she wanted me to know it's erupting.
There's going to be another one in Iceland too.
Really? Okay.
Kilauea is always active. It's just more active at other times than others, but it must be erupting big. So they say on the big island, must be erupting big, bro. That's pigeon. Okay.
So anyway, yeah.
Pele's mad, Madam Pele. She's the
Trump is going to fight, and I even think he'll get the Supreme Court involved.
Oh yeah, he will. And this, I heard from Glenn Kirshner that he can take this New York thing to the New York Supreme Court, which is going to appeal on the grounds of a mistrial, but they're going to uphold the decision of the lower court. But he can take it to the Supreme Court of the United States, which I didn't know. But I don't think the Supreme Court of the U.S. is going to want to deal with that. I really don't.
I see the good. I see somebody like Alito and Thomas saying, "Yeah, you can't do that to him," but I don't know if the other ones would go for it.
Well, we know Thomas.
That's the precedent of butting into a state court. It's almost like yuck.
Right. The only way Glenn Kirshner said that that the Supreme Court would hear it is that if it violated Trump's constitutional rights, which it did not.
Right. But he'll say it did.
Oh, he'll say it did. They'll come up with a bunch of BS. And that's just a delay. But I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't know in New York, like in the state of New York, if you're convicted, if you can stay out of jail while you're appealing. I doubt it.
Right,
But
right.
the second part that Francisco wants to know is what's going to happen to New York City after this? Well, I think it's going to become more popular with a bunch of independent voters and Democrat voters, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. Uh,
Telling you, Trump's gonna lose, you guys. I don't even want you to worry about it.
I'm glad you said that because people are asking. I guess the other question is, and we've already answered a million times, but people are asking, will the Democrats take over the House and will they get a bigger majority in the Senate?
Yes,
Good.
I'm gonna tell you, Ted Cruz is leaving.
Yes.
I see Johnson leaving.
Yes.
Even Sterling, I thought for sure Beto was gonna win. A lot of people did. I
So did
think
I.
Beto did win. But anyway, uh Sterling, who said no, he's not gonna win. I was so relieved when he said, yeah, Ted Cruz is going.
I'll fly to California and hug him, and I'll fly to California and hug you. How's that?
Awesome, awesome.
All right. Okay, glad to see you, says. I like that word. Glad to see.
Glad to see you.
When will Donald Trump start spilling damaging secrets as people turn on him and his numbers to continue to drop? Well, glad to see you. He's already started doing that.
Oh, yeah. And did you see that he said he didn't say, he never said don't to lock her up? He never said that.
Please.
He was on some program. He said, I never said that. I never said to lock her up.
To
And
Donald.
and the news showed all kinds of shows where he said, lock her up.
All they have to do is go back during the debate, and he goes, if you were president, if I were president, you'd be in jail.
Yeah, and then he said, how can someone who's going to be a felon run for president? That's what he said. He was talking about Hillary Clinton.
Well, here he is.
You got to be careful what comes out of your mouth because
everything he said about Hillary Clinton was stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
And it's coming home to bite him. The other question is on everybody's lips is the documents case with Aileen Cannon. And I see Jack Smith doing some sort of writ of mandamus or something to get her taken off this case. I see the 11th Circuit Court saying that she needs to go.
She's just playing games with him.
Right, she is. And I've got a funny feeling that Trump knew something might come down, so he put her on the federal court in Florida, knowing if something happened in Florida that
and don't forget he promised her a justice seat.
Correct, but I think he put her in that position knowing if something happened with the documents case at Mar-a-Lago, which I think somebody leaked it to him, then he could influence her. And I'm telling you, there are 2 legal clerks that worked for her or something that are going to come out and say she was influenced behind closed doors by Trump's team. And that's going to come out.
And the Federalist Society.
Yes, that's all going to come out.
Yeah.
And that's criminal. So.
I know.
Okay, so anyway, glad to see you. Trump already started spilling secrets. Okay, Simply 714 says, hi, Linda and Mel. My brother and I had a falling out because he is a Trump supporter. Well, I had a falling out with a family member of mine because of it. Anyway, do you think with all that is happening with Trump, my brother will come to his senses and reconnect with the family again?
Down the road, he will.
But when you say they'll come to your senses, Simply 714, he's probably thinking you need to come to yours because that's how the Trumplicans are. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, and they'll mourn him for a while.
I think that your brother, I agree with you, Linda, he'll talk to the family at some point. It's just going to take a while.
It's going to take a little. And listen, I'm here reading a lot of clients that whose brothers have called them just recently.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the numbers? Not that I believe everything about numbers of the independents have said, done with Trump.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people, even the libertarians, they booed him.
But they're going to vote for RFK.
They might not. you know, but I still think that it's going to hurt Trump's numbers. It's not going to hurt Biden. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think RFK is going to do that. I really don't.
yeah. He's definitely not gonna win.
No, the worm in his head ate up his brain.
Did you see Trump making the debate?
No, in fact, my guides were telling me when Joe Biden challenged him to a debate, oh yeah, bring it on, I'm going to do it, I'm going to debate. But then it changed all of a sudden. Well, it has to be Fox News and it has to be these commentators, it has to be this. He'll find reasons not to, and then he'll blame
They
Biden.
might already be talking about this behind closed doors, because I think because of this 34 convictions, he's too vulnerable. So he'll look for a reason to not do it.
That's exactly what's happening. I got cold chills when you
I
said.
just got that, yeah.
Okay, Rocard, I think, says, what is Putin feeling now that 45 has been convicted?
Oh, he made an announcement. It was Biden's administration that did that. He loves this stuff. He loves this angst and this awful. He could care less about Trump. Trump's a puppet.
If Trump went to jail, Putin would try to play on it. All Putin wants to do, he's supporting Trump. Trump's people are getting advice behind closed doors from Putin because Putin wants to create weakness in this country. He wants it to be polarized because if he can create weakness, he thinks it'll weaken the United States, and that'll give him a better chance with Ukraine and taking back the old
Oh,
country.
listen, the minute he became president, he would pounce in on Ukraine.
Right.
But he's not going to become president. But do you remember Jared Kushner bragging about they were going to do a backdoor opening for Russia so Russia could get a hold of them anytime they wanted? And
Yeah.
people went crazy. They
That's what-
probably still did it, but yeah, he shut up about it.
Oh yeah, Putin, and well, Biden just allowed Ukraine to let Ukraine use American weapons in Russian territory,
They were hitting him big time.
and so Putin is pissed about that. That's
Yeah.
what to say. Putin wants a MAGA Republican in office because then he can manipulate them, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. Oh, you know what? My guides had told me, and you said the same thing, that there were going to be thousands, hundreds of thousands of people protesting in the streets in Israel against Netanyahu. And
It just happened.
that's what's going on. Our guides were
They
absolutely
want him to accept the Biden compromise.
right. And he probably won't.
He won't. I see he's just like Putin.
But if he doesn't, then that is really, well, his demise has already started.
Well, I'm telling you, and I told you that he's going to do some stupid. He's already done stupid, but he's really getting ready to be vehemently hated by his people.
This is the gasoline on the fire that brings down his downfall. I'm telling you, and it's coming hard and fast. You watch.
Okay, good.
I am pro-Israel, but totally anti-Netanyahu. I keep seeing a president or a prime minister coming to Israel that'll be really for peace in the Middle East, but will not put up with any shenanigans about anybody attacking Israel. And will negotiate to have a peaceful coexistence between Palestine and Israel and negotiate for two separate states.
Yeah.
And you know, my light bulb just went on, and this is going to sound crazy.
What?
But within the next 3 or 4 years, my guides just told me that Israel and Palestine will actually be friendly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely saw that happening.
I mean, it just hit me. So, okay. Kathy Rollins says, hello, you two lovely people. Thanks, Kathy. The court is going to do a pre-sentence investigation before sentencing of Trump on July the 11th. All I have to say is that when they better have clothespins in the courtroom because Trump is going to do you know what in his pants.
What do you mean the court's going to do a what?
A pre-sentence investigation before sentencing him. What I take that to mean is just to see, like, you know, the flexibility of sentencing, what it entails. But she says, and this is good, the investigation may include a psychological evaluation of Trump. Do you see something coming up that may recommend he be remanded to a secure psychiatric facility? See that?
No, but also he was supposed to be interviewed by his probation officer before he left the court that day and he took off.
Well, then then that's a, you know, he's gonna violate the gag order.
Anybody else would have been dragged back into court and thrown in jail.
Well, he's gonna violate the gag order, and I'm telling you that this judge will put him under house arrest if he does it. That's what I see.
Okay.
So,
He said, remember, he likes to play the accordion.
oh,
Whenever he's gonna lie. In fact, the guy who was a producer on The Apprentice talked about him and how he was ripping people off and how all of that Apprentice was a fraud. They set him up to look special, but he was a pig.
yeah, oh yeah.
He said he would do that accordion thing. Even then, and that's when you knew he was lying.
Well, I mean, when you know he lies, he opens his mouth.
Yeah.
But you notice whenever he loses, it was rigged. The whole jury was rigged. It's a
Oh, he said the Emmys were rigged when it got up for a thing.
exactly. It's you know, it's Biden against me. It's the, you know, the judge is this. Telling you he's going to open his mouth about the jurors and he's going to say stuff that aren't true. And my guides have shown me that 2, possibly 3 jurors are going to come forward and sue him for slander and libel, and they're going to win.
Yeah, but I don't know when, because I do see them hanging out in the background right now.
Well, they're not going to do much.
Those cray-crays are out there. They want to, what is the word, vox them or do something to them.
They're not going to do anything now, but I'm telling you,
MSNBC even talked about the accent of one of them, which I thought, don't give any information.
I agree. I totally agree with that. I see laws coming that my light bulb just went on to protect jurors some way. I don't know, but I still see 2 or 3 coming forward that will sue Trump, and they're going to win. I'm telling you, it's a while off.
Well, they're, you know, don't forget this, you guys, in case something happens and I'm not around. One of the things that really turns the jury off, besides the preponderance of the evidence and that beyond a reasonable doubt he's guilty, was the fact that he would go to sleep.
And the fact that his lawyers really, really, really were horrible to Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
You know, juries don't like bullies, because what happened was they felt bullied by Trump. And when they saw his lawyers bullying a witness, they're like, wait a minute here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of that bit him in the butt. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. David Gretsch. Hi, David. Please let us know when Mitch McConnell is getting his karma. Thank you both very much for all the times you've given me hope when things were looking so helpless. Let's see. Oh, and there's a place called Mel's Hole. I'm not touching that. In Eastern Washington, and it's claimed to be a bottomless hole, and I'm not joking. Can you please read on that too? I can't thank you enough for all the wonderful things you've done. I've never heard about Mel's Hole. I don't know.
Who you calling a hoe?
There you go. That's what I said. I'm not touching it. But I think I'm feeling that Mitch McConnell is already getting his karma. Don't you?
I do too. And you saw he thought that the whole thing was rigged.
Oh, Mitch McConnell said that?
Yeah, the trial for him was rigged.
You know, he knows better.
Oh, but no, he doesn't. He's an evil person.
He's not going to win. Well, he's going to step down. The other thing is, people are asking about Biden putting more justices on the court. And my guides told me that there's going to be 2 or 3 more justices on the court. My feeling is when Biden wins, he will put more justices on the court.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I see at least 2 of them being impeached that are already on the court and leaving because of that.
That sounds right.
Okay. DRC 1989 says, love to you, Linda and Mel. With all the you-know-what hitting the fan, especially how the both of you and so many others predicted, will this give a bigger boost and credibility to the psychic community? In other words, she's saying, the person is saying, with everything that we predicted in the community, it's happening. Will this give a bigger boost to our community?
Yeah, you either believe it or you don't believe it.
That's how, yeah, you know, I just say we do this work, and it's okay for us to say when we're right, but I'll also say when I was wrong. We do this work not for our egos. We do this work to help people. And so we're just passing on what we're being told from our guides. And sometimes we're wrong because of the misinterpretation of the message. But I mean, thank you for that, Sabrina. Her name's Sabrina. But I mean, even if Trump wins, which he's not going to, I'll still do my work. I mean, you know, my work is my work.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Laura Wright says, Chris Christie has been too quiet lately. What is he up to? Could he be planning an upset at the RNC?
No.
I don't think so. Do you
I
see
think he's exhausted.
do you see violence breaking out at the RNC? I see a little.
Do I see violence? I see some protesting, but not
But,
terrible
but
violence.
it's going to be against Trump, not for him. I have friends that are Chicago police officers, and they're telling me that they're hiring police officers, and a lot of police officers that work desk jobs and stuff like that, they're going to put them in plain clothes for the Democratic National Convention that's going to be held here. But I'm glad it's going to be held here. It excites me. You know, Chicago's a wonderful city. It really is.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay. Snoogle, I like that word, snoogle. Oh wait, snool, I can't pronounce it. Will Houston be hit with hurricanes this year?
Oh, I don't know about Houston, but I do see in the Gulf
Mexico.
yeah, and I see a big time hitting up in Florida and to North Carolina. Maybe even New York was going to get hit.
I think there's going to be.
Somebody just said New Jersey.
Yes, I do see New Jersey.
What was the name of that one in New Jersey? Sandy or something?
I forget. But I see a hurricane, big hurricane hitting a couple, 2 or 3 hitting the eastern seaboard. But I'm still thinking Texas. It's a lower level hurricane, but I see it really doing some damage.
But they're going to have some Armageddon, some big time. It's going to be like those tornadoes, back to back to back. People can't hardly catch their breath. That's what I'm seeing. Because part of the reason this nation will come together is because so many of our neighbors are having issues.
And then people are going to start really opening up their eyes and telling our politicians we need to do something about climate change.
Yeah. And instead of giving money to the rich, they're going to say, let's start looking at the science and stuff.
Absolutely. I see.
We got to help others rebuild. That's why when he calls for riots and he thinks his people are going to, they all have loosely, especially these women who won't break a nail. They all, let's do that, war and all this. It's because they're not going to jump in on it.
Not.
Trump can't get enough people. Remember his Lord said, we're going to get a million men to, no, you're not.
You know, as you were talking, my light bulb just went on. He made record donations when he was convicted of being guilty because he was out there. It's rigged, it's this, it's that. He made a lot.
And also he lied about the amount of money, but go ahead.
I know he did. But what the court is going to do in New York and say, okay, now you can't cry broke. That money you can't keep. You either have to use it for your campaign, and if you don't, we are going to confiscate that money.
Yeah.
And use it for the money that you have to pay out that you didn't pay in taxes.
I don't know if they can do that, but I will tell you that
there's some way or another. There's some way. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When he said 54 million he made, I said, oh, good. You can pay E. Jean Carroll.
That's my point. So what they're going to do is say that he cannot make money for his campaign or this or that based on, in other words, he can't solicit people for money because of his felony convictions.
Yeah. And it's funny how people will give money too.
Oh, I know, but that's going to end. I'm telling you, I see his stuff confiscated. I see him in financial ruin. I really do.
And Scotland is starting a big event thing. First of all, he can't go to a lot of European countries because he's a felon. And Scotland's really looking at making sure they can get possession of that of that golf thing. They think he got illegal means.
He did. And when you said that, my light bulb went on, and they are going to get that property back. He's also going to lose Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I've been seeing that for a while.
And, you know, when they did Trump Tower in Chicago, a lot of people bought apartments in that building, timeshares, or what I think was apartments or condos, and they really lost a lot of money. So I see his name taken off that building. I keep saying they should take the T down first and just put up the word rump.
Yeah. Well, China owns the floor and Russia owns the floor.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so we've already answered this one, but it said President Biden made an announcement yesterday concerning Israel and Hamas. Will the announcement be accurate, or will Netanyahu ruin it? Netanyahu's not going to do what Biden asks. It's not going to happen.
No, he doesn't care. He's like Trump, like this.
Right. Okay.
Did you see Netanyahu coming to Congress and speaking?
I do, but I see some postponements with it.
I see a lot of people on the streets
And
protesting.
if that happens, there's going to be a lot of people protesting. You know, I mean, the ultra right wing MAGAs would be all for him, but the rest of everybody is going to be like, no. I mean, I even see our Jewish friends protesting.
Yeah, because they're done with him.
Yeah. Okay, Dakota Kelt. Hi, Dakota Kelt. How are you? Aloha, Mel, and lovely Linda. The Department of Justice recently filed a lawsuit, Live Nation Ticketmaster, for violating antitrust laws. The lawsuit seeks to break up Live Nation Ticketmaster. Will they be successful, and will it lead to actions against Microsoft, Apple, and other monopolistic corporations? I see the court saying they have to divest. They have to break it up. What do you think, Linda?
Yeah, definitely. The Justice Department wins.
Good.
Did you see Merrick Garland stepping down the next term? I do.
I do. But I want to tell you something. The attorney general that will take his place will be a junkyard dog, is not going to put up with any shenanigans whatsoever.
Is it Jack Smith?
I'm thinking yes.
I don't see him wanting that job.
If they ask him to do it, he'd probably not do it, because then Trump would say, oh, he used this for political gain against me, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
I don't think Jack Smith really cares what Donald Trump says. But one of the first people he would investigate, and she's already being investigated as we speak, is Aileen Cannon.
She is being investigated?
Absolutely.
Where did you hear that from?
My psychic guides.
Oh, okay.
My guides are telling me.
Well, they're secretly behind closed doors doing things that you won't want to say out loud, but they're checking in to see if she's getting an influx of money or anything. You know, her husband is corrupt, so.
Just like when everybody was uptight about Merrick Garland not doing anything quick enough, and my guides show me him whispering behind closed doors and everything was kept hush hush. I knew it would break. It was just a question of when. But I like the way Merrick Garland did it, because it was methodical. He wasn't.
But people were so mad at him. Why aren't you doing anything?
Yeah, but now look, I knew it would change.
Hey, listen, I just got a flash. Just throw this past your mind. I just got a flash that they're focusing in on Aileen Cannon, they're actually going to find something on her husband.
Yes.
And I see some sort of a lawsuit or an arrest on her husband.
The answer to that is yes. I see it. I heard the word indictment. When you said that, I got cold chills going down my spine and up.
Because I just splashed on it. It's all over the news. It's really going to upset her.
But
She
she's
might have to step down because there's something related to her husband that she was involved with.
She's going to be in trouble too.
You're in trouble, girl.
Girl, you in deep doo-doo. Okay. Dakota Kelt wants to know, how is Zelensky and others feeling about Trump's conviction? They're probably jumping for joy. How do you think Zelensky feels about it, is their question.
Oh yeah, they know he's a fraud and he's a con, and they try to get him to say a lie Oh, God bless Zelensky. He did everything in his power not to admit, even though they needed that money so badly.
Right. So how do you think, she wants to know though, how's Zelensky feeling about it right now, about Trump's
He's
conviction?
busy worried about, he's just so happy they got the money. He's not thinking about Trump that much.
I don't think
He's
he's
busy worried about his own country because they have just hit some major hits in Russia.
and I see
The
them getting,
lubricant place that makes the lubricant for their missiles and stuff, they got that, they burnt it down.
I see them getting some airplanes too.
Oh yeah, they're getting airplanes.
And this is going to cause Russia to really kind of polarize and pull apart at the seams. You know, then Putin's going to say, oh, that was an act of war against Russia from the United States, but he's going to threaten, but a saber
He
rattle.
always threatens.
You know, he knows that our button is bigger than his.
Yeah. He always threatens you guys. He's always, him and Kim Jong-un, always threatening.
Okay. Will Trump's conviction play a role in the upcoming UK elections and hopeful unseating of the Tory majority in Parliament? I see the Liberals coming to power in Great Britain.
I do too. When you said that, and I don't even know who's who in the
either.
UK, but I feel it's going to be like Mexico. Someone really good gets in there.
I think so. Okay. I can't pronounce his name. Lucid Delisi. I can't pronounce it. Mel and Linda, love and appreciate you both so much. Now that 45 was convicted, do you see the Supreme Court feel like they want to give him something and grant immunity? We know they cannot be trusted to be impartial. They've already made up their mind on that whole immunity thing. So,
Yeah.
But this case would have nothing to do with immunity because he did it before he was the president.
Yeah.
Okay.
While he was running for president. Yeah.
Right. Andrea.
Is that another reason they can't step into this? Because it was something that happened before he was president.
Or the documents case, because he did it after he was president. Okay, Andrea Birkenmeyer says, hello, Linda and Mel. Just wondering if Trump will start spilling the tea on his associates since he's having cognitive hiccups. He's having coughing spasms. And if so, will the GOP bring in a body double to silence him before the election? They don't have a body double for him. And Trump would spill the beans on anybody that doesn't go along with Trump.
Yeah.
But
I do see when he's going down, when he's rolling in the mud, he gives away secrets of a lot of people that worked with him, co-conspirators.
He'll come forward and say it was BS or whatever. Oh, I see him rolling. I see him rolling in more than mud, dear.
Right, right. Hey, listen, so tell me Thursday is Judge Marchand starts the trial for Bannon. Is Bannon in trouble, girl?
Judge Marchand is doing the trial?
Yeah, in New York, the same judge.
Judge Marchand is very fair-minded.
Oh, yeah. He bent over backwards to make sure Trump was okay.
And he's doing everything in his power to make sure there's not a mistrial. I really admire him. You know, he's Colombian.
Yeah.
One of my friends is Colombian, and she said as much hatred. She teaches in a school that's very bigoted, and they don't like her because she's Hispanic. She said as much hatred and bigotry that Trump has spread and problems he's caused, isn't it karmic that he got a Colombian judge? I say, yes.
Yeah.
But the Colombian judge didn't let that come into play at all.
No. He doesn't like what he's saying about his daughter, though.
Right, right.
Because they're threatening like crazy. They're threatening him and his daughter.
They're going to try that, but I'm telling you, Trump is going to be held in contempt of that gag order. As far as Bannon is concerned, I see a guilty verdict.
Yeah.
You know,
and he'll be squealing. He's finally going to have to do jail time. He says, when Trump becomes president, first thing I'm going to do is, and I wrote to him, no, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a bath.
Or to get some depends.
And then right after that, you're going to brush those ugly ass teeth. Great.
A lot of people want to know if, like, when he goes in for sentencing, he has to meet with the portal officer, probation officer. Will he be flagged for a psych evaluation? Well, here's the deal. The trial is over. So it's too late now to see if he's fit to stay in trial. They can't use that. That should have been something they did before the trial. They might evaluate him and they might say, there's a little issue, but it's not going to get him off the hook.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, this is a really good question by Christina Smith. It's a really good question. And a lot of people are nervous about it. And I even put it in my notes. Hey, Mel and Linda, will there be a civil war after November?
No. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
I did a whole video on that.
okay.
My guys are very clear. There'll be little bits here and there. But
Well,
people are trying to survive right now, including Trumpsters. They're going through natural occurrences with the earth, unprecedented
change.
tornadoes, etc. We're about ready to have more earthquakes. We're about ready to have hurricanes. People are just trying to live, and they're not going to sacrifice their well-being and their families for him. They're just not going to do it. The proof is in the pudding. Look what Lawrence O'Donnell said. He called on people, come out for me, fight. What was it? The most he had was 3 people in New York.
Right.
Nobody, and then when some people go to some of his events, they said 90% of the Trumpsters, the true Trumpsters, don't go to his events.
The only people that came out for him were the politicians they talked to behind closed doors, because those politicians wanted something.
But they're all saying, oh yeah, this is what, bull pucky. My guys were very clear. That's why I did a video on this. I wanted people to know there will be no civil war, period. And how are you going to do a civil war while the president is a Democrat who owns jets and tanks and armies? You can't.
Well, people are thinking once again, Trump, oh, it's going to be a red tsunami. It's going to be a red wave. It's not even going to be a pink trickle, not a pink.
And the other thing is he thinks that people are going to be outraged and uproar. They were outraged with 2020, because how could a sitting president not win again? He couldn't have been that bad. Yeah, he was that bad.
The other thing I think too is, if you look at all of the states that were traditionally Republican that went Democrat, and a lot of those local seats, that's a bellwether, in my opinion, of what's coming in this election.
Oh yeah, all our voting things happening even in red states. It's a blue person gets in. It's unprecedented what's taking. That woman that won as a judge on their Supreme Court, I think in Iowa or something. Oh, they even tried to not let her take her seat. That's how desperate they were.
Auntie Vaughn, this is a really good question. Hello, Auntie Mel and Lady Linda. Hi. Ooh, she called you a lady. I love it.
I know, that's very rare.
She didn't say ho. Okay.
Didn't say, hey, ho. When people would come in and go, when I worked as a nurse, ho, ho, ho. I said, who you calling a ho?
I love it. And they were talking about Christmas.
So
okay.
what was the question?
This is as we digress.
The look you gave me though makes me think you think there's going to be a civil war.
No, I don't.
Okay.
What I was going to say is I think we were very close to one, and we are still precariously close. And Putin would like nothing more than for us to have a civil war, because it would really weaken us, but it's not going to happen. That's why I gave that look.
No, it's not going to happen. And here's the other thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene is telling people, we're not going to send any more, like she's in charge of money. We're not sending any more money to New York. Well, you know what? New York puts out money for people.
I had that in my notes that she wants to defund New York. That's not going to happen.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, well.
And good luck with these people that succeed. Texas will succeed out of the union. Yeah, whatever.
Illegal. They can't. I got a feeling that Hunter Biden's going to sue MTG and he's going to win, and she's going to have to pay him some big money. Okay. Yeah. So Auntie Vaughn wants to know, this is really good. Will Trump manage to convince the US Supreme Court to overturn his conviction prior to the election? I don't see that happening.
I see them taking it though.
Oh, you think they'll take it? Okay.
Yeah, and I feel that it's gonna upset people so bad it even gets Biden saying, you know what, maybe we need to pack the court. Because how dare you? They really have no business taking it. They can, but they have no business.
Unless something unconstitutional happened in his trial, and that's what they're going to try to say.
There's nothing there.
But he can't go with presidential immunity because they're going to kick it back to the states. But this happened before he was president, so there's really nothing they can do about that.
And let me tell you something else. There is somebody whose life will be attempted on. I don't know if it's somebody. I see somebody like if I'm almost feeling like if these cray-crays hurt the hair on the head of somebody who's beloved, boy, are they going to be in trouble.
But here's the thing. The Supreme Court doesn't meet again until October.
They're done now?
I think, yes.
No, because they got to release the immunity stuff and all that.
Well, right. But once they're done with that, then they don't meet again until October. And that's what the thing with the immunity, if they kick it back to Judge Chutkan, which they will, and she decides what's immunity and what's not, then Trump will take that to the Supreme Court. They'll hold arguments on it, but they won't make a decision until after the election. And it'll be the same thing here. What I think is they might try to speed it up and speed it up and speed it up to get it.
Oh, yeah, because when the turtles need to move, they move.
Correct. But I do agree they might hear the case, but I don't know if they'll speed it up enough to have it heard before the election. I don't know. But I see the conviction.
I do see the Supreme Court being stupid, though.
Well, they
not,
are.
Not our three lovely ladies, but the others.
But I see the conviction in New York holding up.
Oh, yeah.
And I see him convicted on more counts in Georgia.
Yeah.
And I see Chutkan is going to find him guilty. Loose cannon, I see her removed from that case.
He's going to be taken out, I'm telling you.
But you know what's going to happen? My guide showed me this, that Jack Smith, there was more documents found after Trump was indicted on this stuff. I see Jack Smith coming up with a whole different set of indictments and investigation.
And he might bring that up in New York.
Correct.
Or Washington, where it happened.
Correct. Based on the documents are already found, and loose cannon will not be the judge on that. They'll have another judge. Actually, there will be Trump appointed, but that would be very fair-minded and would clearly be impartial.
Yeah.
So I see him bringing more charges against Trump with a different judge as well.
Exactly, my friend.
Okay. Let's see here. Will aid get into Gaza and reverse famine? Currently 1.4 million people.
It's terrible. Terrible. These babies are dying. They're just so skinny.
I see aid getting into Gaza. I see food drops. I see if they have to, they'll drop food by air.
They did that already, yeah.
They're going to do.
Hamas was stealing a lot of it.
I know, but I think
I'm going to tell you that there will be somewhat of a reversal. Some starvations you can't change, but I do see a lot of medical aid coming in. But I do see that Netanyahu did not care less that he was killing children. He could give a royal, he wanted people to die.
I still see a lot more airlifts, airdrops for food, a lot of supply trains for food, all of that. And Netanyahu better not touch him. He's going to be tried for war crimes, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's not supposed, that's why I was surprised he's coming to US, because somebody has a warrant for his arrest, the ICM or something like that.
Yes, they do. But I see a lot of humanitarian aid being poured into Gaza, as well as Ukraine. So,
but that damn Jared Kushner got that strip that he's already purchased. He's going to build hotels on the Gaza Strip.
But what's going to happen with the change in government in Israel? They're going to come and say, Kushner can't do that.
Okay, good.
And
Good.
I see some of that property confiscated and giving it back to its rightful owners.
There you
So
go.
Kushner might think he scored a hit, but it's not a win.
Right, right.
Okay.
Now, listen, I'll have to get off after this question only because I have an appointment with Apple.
Okay.
I have to go down there.
Well, we've already answered it. Arlene Young says, I would like you both to read on Supreme Court justices changing the 34 felon crimes conviction verdict to innocent. I see him still convicted. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So next week,
You're on my channel.
so everybody call my office, 847-590-5411. Go on my website, www.meldoerr.com. You can see the brochure for our get-together. And Aina's gonna film a little thing about what we're all gonna do, and we can put it all on our
And I
respective.
get to meet Arthur and Deanne and
Yes.
Kevin. I'll see Kevin again.
Yep. And Kevin
You
Chandler,
guys, Kevin is, and Kevin Loving.
Kevin Loving. I've done shows with Kevin Loving, but I've never met face to face.
I know. And then the other Kevin who I met in San Francisco with you.
Right.
He's tall, you guys.
He's tall.
He's tall and lean and cute.
I asked him if his mother fed him Wheaties.
And the sweetest man in the world. He laughed like hell over my sister's jokes. He thought she was funny.
He is a sweetie. We had a good time in San Fran. We worked. It was a lot of work, but it was fun. I like that Tonga room. We got to do a field
I
trip.
wouldn't go there again though, because I didn't think the food was that good.
I just like
That ambience.
we should plan a field trip to San Fran.
To where?
To San Fran. We should plan a field trip.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
San Fran is I used to be able to drink and drive back in the day. I used to be able to go through that town and never get lost. Now I drive like an old lady. I'm scared to death.
Or have Vinny do it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
All
sweetie.
right, you guys, thank you so much. I've got to get to Apple. There's something going on with my phone, and there's a dot in here that's bugging the crap out of me. It looks like the screen could be broken.
You know who can help you with that is Jeffrey Stein.
I've already talked to him, and he wants me to go to Apple.
Good. He's doing really well, by the way.
I know. He left me a message the other day, and he's doing great.
He's a nice guy. He really is a nice guy.
Extremely wonderful. We love you, Jeffrey.
Love you, Jeff. All right.
All right, baby. You take care.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.